had to force double overtime. Just what does that say about this team's resiliency and competitiveness?
Well, yeah, I thought, we started out the game, we were just a step slow. I remember at the beginning of the I thought we played really good defense the second half. And we talked about communicating, and there was a possession in front of our bench where DeAndre was just talking about things we're trying to do and letting his teammates know. And I thought that was indicative to me of the way that we competed defensively, and we were able to obviously climb back in the game, and we're right there.
Of course, you have to look back at the film, but what would you say were some of those looks that were taken kind of in that second overtime period that allowed Miami to kind of get off to, I think, a 6-0 run?
Yeah, I mean, we had the lead at 1.2. I think you want to stay aggressive, and we had a few good looks that didn't fall. So, as I said, I don't really begrudge that. As long as guys are confident and they're playing for each other, and I thought we did a few things that were pretty good to get to spots. It's always hard to get wide open looks late in the game, but we had some makeable shots and they just didn't go in. And, Miami hit a couple as well.
I wanted to stay on DeAndre. He had a tough defensive assignment. He had Jimmy Butler for most of the night, but in that third quarter, I felt like he really went off. What did you see defensively that kind of helped him spur his offense?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, even if, I'd like to think those two things aren't necessarily that correlated, that we can just defend regardless until shots start to go, and he's been a worry with that. As you said, that's a really, Jimmy Butler's, an elite player, and DeAndre just fought him, and I thought, he got us some buckets. He went to the rim, went to the post. He had a couple of looks from three that he made, and a couple others that he felt like were going in. They were just clean shots. So, but the biggest thing, as you said, is just the way that he competed, and that goes a long way.
Coach, the front office has talked about Hawks DNA this season. So how much have you seen the culture shift in your first full season here? And how close do you feel the organization is to sort of forming that consistent philosophy?
Yeah, I'm not looking at that right now. I mean, every organization, every team has overarching goals. I think for us, the focus is just come out every night and compete, and that's the way that you build a culture. You repeat those things. You stay unselfish. You compete, and there's no claim that you do it, and you got to keep doing it.
Can you tell us anything about Jalen's ankle, and in his absence, it looked like Veet filled in. What did you see from Veet filling in late in the game?
Yeah, I mean, when Jalen was out, Veet was that same lineup. He was starting and finishing, and then when Hunt was out, the same thing. So that's not an unfamiliar ground for Veet. And same thing, I think, for Veet. We just want him to compete and be instinctive offensively. I couldn't tell you any more about Jalen's condition. I'm sure they'll give you more information when they have it.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.